Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how I do my Bantu knots. And just to give you guys a little bit of information before I start, there are two different variations of Bantu knots. You can either do it on wet hair or dry hair. When you do your Bantu knots on wet hair, usually your curls are more tighter and more similar to your own curl pattern. And when you do it on dry hair, usually the curl pattern is a little bit looser and you have more control over how you want the curls to come out. Usually when I do my Bantu knots, I do it on wet hair. I like having my curl pattern show a little bit more in my Bantu knots, and I like the more tighter curl look. I think it fits me better. But today I'm going to be doing a Bantu knot out tutorial on dry hair, only because I'm going to be going somewhere on Sunday, and I just want that full, big curly fro look right now. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And also, quick note, I know a lot of people sometimes tend to confuse Bantu knot outs with braid outs. Of course, you know the difference is Bantu knots you twist and braid outs you braid. But also, braid outs give you a completely different curl pattern than Bantu knots. Whether or not you do your Bantu knots on wet or dry hair, your curls will usually come out looking spirally or like a spiral. When you do your braid outs, it usually comes out in a kind of bent formation. I don't know really how to describe it, but you can look it up on Google. It's two different things. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your Bantu knot outs. And if you do want to do your braid outs, you can usually substitute whatever I'm doing, and wherever I'm twisting, you braid. And then it's basically the same thing. So let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, I've already washed my hair. I deep condition my hair, of course. I deep condition every week. And I use the towel method to kind of dry my hair. It's still a little bit damp, but that's fine because I'll be drying it completely with a blow dryer. So before I blow dry my hair, I'm going to, of course, add my Shea Butter Miracle Moisture Intense Leave-In Conditioner by African Pride. And then I will be sealing in with my Africa's Best Ultimate Herbal Oil. And that's all I'm going to put on my hair. And then I'm going to blow dry out my hair. So just to give you guys a look on how I do it, there really is no structured way that I do my leave-ins. Take some of your hair and just put it through. You usually can tell the areas where you haven't put your leave-in conditioner in because your hair becomes very soft in the places where you have. So anywhere where your hair is a little bit dry, add some leave-in to it. And it should soften up really quick. That's if you have a really good leave-in conditioner. Okay, so that's about enough. As you can see, my hair stretched a little bit out when I did that. So now I'm going to be adding my oil to seal. And remember, I go by the moisturize and seal method. So always, before you start any hairdo, any hairstyle, moisturize, condition your hair, and seal it in with an oil. You don't understand how important that is. Because regardless of what you do with your hair, even if you're flat ironing or adding a lot of heat to your hair, as long as you do this, your hair should retain its moisture and it should never dry out. Make sure you get the ends. The ends are the most important part. if anything, you want to make sure you seal in your ends. And that prevents split ends and all of that. Okay, so when I blow dry my hair, I usually part it in 4 different sections, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. There's no really structured way I do it. I'll just part it with my hands and then make the different sections. Only because my hair tends to get really like knotted and tangled, and I hate blow drying my hair when it's tangled because, you know, it causes split ends and it pulls out your hair. So I usually part it into these small sections, and then what I do is I take section by section. First, I comb it out with a wide tooth comb. Girls, when combing their hair, should be using the method where they comb from the ends and work their way up. You don't understand how important that is. Saves you a lot of damage to your hair and breakage. So you do that, and then you work your way up. And of course, remember, I'm using a wide tooth comb. Once that section is detangled, you take it and then you start blow drying. Okay, so as you can see, I finished blow drying the rest of my hair. And now it's 100% dry. So now we're going to start the Bantu knots. Okay, so usually if I were doing my Bantu knots on wet hair, I would still use my Shea Butter leave-in conditioner as the product to apply before I do my twist. But because I'm doing it on dry hair and I want the curls to be longer than usual, this time I'm going to use my Dark and Lovely All Natural Anti-Shrinkage Curl Defining Cream Glaze. And this just helps to keep their hair stretched. If I was to use this still on my hair, then it would have made no sense for me to dry my hair because my hair will probably revert back to its regular curl pattern. But using this, it should keep my hair stretched and elongated. So when I do take out the Bantu knots, they'll be longer than usual. Okay, so when I do my Bantu knots, I usually do a part down the middle. And that's only because my regular style for the Bantu knot is a part down the middle. If you want to do a side part, you can do a side part like this, or a side part on the other side, or however you want it to do, you make your Bantu knots like that. I usually just do a middle part. So once I section it down the middle, I'm going to take a scrunchie. I'm going to tie this section for now because I'm only going to be working on here. And like I said, I'm not so serious about my parting, so I usually just part with my fingers, and I think this is about a good amount right here for the first Bantu knot. So once you part your hair, comb it through, and then take some of the curl defining. But remember, the whole point of doing it on dry hair is because you want your curls to be a little bit longer. So I'm only going to take a little bit, just a little bit, and just glide it through the hair. And I'm only going to do this like 2 times, just a little bit on the ends as well. So once you glide that in there, comb it again, remember, from the ends, working your way up to make sure that it's detangled. And then what I do is I part it into 2, and then I start twisting. But also as I twist and and wrap the hair around each other, you're going to take this finger right here, and you're going to twist as you're twisting. And you do that for both hairs. So you do this hand, and you twist while you wrap them around each other. It's almost like if you're a braider or you do twist, Marley twist or Senegalese twist, it's kind of like that. So you twist the hair, and you also wrap it around each other. Let me show you again. Twist, twist, wrap. Twist, twist, wrap. Twist, twist, wrap. And I've always done this method. I think it makes the curls come out a little bit more defined. But if you do it the regular way where you just twist it around each other, it should still come out pretty good. But this is just my way of doing things. Okay, and then once you're done, seal the ends. And then some people, when they're wrapping their hair around each other, they like to continue to twist as they wrap. I don't recommend doing this because as you're wrapping the hair around each other, it's going to get tighter at the roots. So if you continue to twist and wrap, the tension at your roots might be too much and it can break off your hair. So just wrap. And as you wrap, you'll feel it getting tighter. If you want it a little bit tighter, you can twist while you wrap, but you really don't need to. It'll get tighter on its own. And then there you go. So I'm going to do one more example for you, and then I'm going to finish my head. So like I said, just take a section of your hair. If you want, of course, you can section it with your comb, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'm fine with sectioning it this way. Comb it out. And you only take a little bit of the curl defining cream and glide it through your hair. Take a little bit more, this time for the ends, and glide it through your hair. And then make sure it's detangled. Make your 2 sections. Twist and wrap around each other. Twist and wrap around each other. Personally, I don't make my Bantu knots that tight. I don't feel as if you need to. And it just causes breakage and split ends that you don't really need. So when you get to the end, you can just twist like that. And if you want, you can add a little bit extra at the ends. Like I said, the ends are the most important part. You definitely want to make sure it is nice and smooth. And then just wrap it around each other. This one is a little bit smaller, but that's fine. And like I said, I don't really have an amount or size that my Bantu knots have to be. They're usually different sizes because I part my hair any way I want. But yeah. So I'm going to finish the rest of my head up and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I just finished doing the Bantu knots. I took longer than expected because I decided to make them a little bit smaller than usual, only because I really want them to come out looking really nice and defined. Before I let it dry, I'm going to add some natural anti-shrinkage sheen sealing nectar just to give it some shine and to seal everything together. So and that's about it. I'll show you guys the finished look hopefully later on today. It'll be dry enough that I could take them out. Okay, so it's the next day. I'm dressed up. Can't really see my outfit. But now I'm ready to take out my knots before I go to school. So sometime yesterday, I did take out my knots just to check on them and see if they're drying properly. And when I redid them, I kind of made them bigger. So that's why they're in these bigger knots. Before I take them out, I'm going to spray my hair and my hands with the sheen sealing nectar that goes along with the anti-shrinkage cream defining glaze, just to put something slippery on my hands and to give a little extra shine to my hair. Okay, so I'm putting a little bit on my hands. As you can see, my hands are a little bit shinier and slippery, and this will help smooth out the curls and help take them out without causing frizziness. So as you can see, I'm just pulling them out of the knots right now. I'm not unraveling the twist or anything. Once they're out, of course, pat, make sure that they're dry or at least feel dry, and mine's do. And then what I do is I untwist the hair, and then I pull them apart. I don't untwist the hair one by one. I just kind of let it unravel itself by twisting in the opposite direction that I twisted it when I was making them. And they come out pretty quick. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each untwisted strand, and usually what I like to do, like I said, I like my curls to be kind of tight. This time they're gonna be a little bit looser, and even then I just gently fluff out a little bit. Pull apart the curls gently. I worry more about definition than volume, so I'm just going to pull apart. Okay, so as you can see, I finished fluffing out the hair, and the curls came out pretty good. It might seem a little bit different from the other Bantu knot out I had. And remember, I said it's because this one was done on dry hair and the other one was done on wet hair. And I'll definitely make a Bantu knot out tutorial on wet hair, since that's what I usually wear anyway. I am a victim of flat top heads. When I take out my Bantu knots, they tend to be very flat in the middle, and I don't like that. So usually what I do is I take a wide tooth comb, or you can take a pick or anything, and you just tug at the roots a little bit to get some definition. So you just tug gently and pull upwards. Kind of gives you some more volume to work with, so it doesn't look so flat. And then usually I do a middle or side part. Today I guess I'll do a side part. And you can take bobby pins, clips, pins, whatever, however you want to style your hair. And today I think I'll just do And as you can see, there is a little bit of frizz. There always will be a little bit of frizz, but for the most part, the curls pretty much came out defined. So I'm glad with the results. And yeah, that's it.